Welcome to Mancave Movies.
Welcome everybody back to Mancave Movies. My name is Chris. 2022 is fastly leaving us in the rearview mirror of your beautiful Mustang Sally.
Mustang Sally!
And of course, we're getting ready for 2023. But it's been a year of great movies. So many great movies, and it's so hard to condense it and pick a top 3. If I could pick a top 10, it'd be better. But I got a top 3. 3 movies that really have been the pinnacle of cinema and movies this year. And not only that, I'm talking about when they came to home streaming and, of course, when it came to 4K and Blu-ray. So this is my top 3. Folks, this is just my personal preference. I want you to drop in the comments your top 3 movies of 2022. What have been the top 3 movies that have stuck in your head and been with you a long time and you thought, man, nothing is ever going to beat that? Because I have to say, my list has changed quite a lot this year. But I have finally got my top 3, and today we're going to find that out. If you haven't done so already, please remember to subscribe and like and turn notifications on. And of course, lots more content coming with you here at Mancave Movies. So let's get ready. The top 3 movies of 2022 with number 3.
3!
This was probably my hardest because this was the film that I found hard to slot into my 3rd, and it could have been my 4th because another movie could have got there instead, but I've went with it. And it is that amazing movie, produced, directed, edited by the one man himself, Damien Leone. It is Terrifier 2. This movie has left such a lasting impression on me. Talk about horror, talk about gore, talk about a character that stays with you long after the movie is ended. Art the Clown, a fantastic, character of this clown who is just absolutely psychotic, who does not speak a word of dialogue in the whole movie. It's all about facial expressions. It's everything. It's everything that we want in a horror. And talk about gore. We're ramping this movie up to like a 12 when it comes to gore and shock value. But listen, it's not one of those movies where it's just gore for the sake of gore. It's quite a fun concept. I love the idea of Art the Clown. We don't know where he comes from. We don't know if he's like this weird demon entity or he's been, we know nothing. And I sometimes think that's what makes these movies so good. When you don't know the backstory, you don't know anything about them, you just enjoy it for what it is. A stellar cast, such a low budget movie, and to think how much money they've made from this movie, the millions upon millions, it's become a cult classic. Even Oscar buzz about this film, which blows my mind. Oh, wow! For any cheap B horror movie fans out there, if you've not seen Terrifier 2 yet, please get it watched. The first one's great, don't get me wrong, but they amped it up a little bit, and the second one for me far outweighs the first one. This is a great movie, also available on Blu-ray as well. All in all, Terrifier 2, hands down, one of the greats this year of 2022. It is in my number 3.
2!
This could have been my number 1 until about a couple of months ago, but this is my number 2. I have to say it. It is the wonderful, the amazing Matt Reeves' The Batman. This movie for me was so good. Now, I know it gets a lot of kind of heat because it's kind of a Marmite movie. Some people love it, some people hate it. I think it's because if you come from the comic book nerd that I am, this is just a straight out detective movie. It's a proper hard, gritty Zodiac the Killer, that kind of Summer of Sam superhero-esque movie. It's got all of those kind of trappings to make it so good. And for me, everything about it, the look, the camera shots, everything, it was shot so well. But the cast is what done it for me. I think the cast in this is unbelievable. Zoe Kravitz as Catwoman, very, very good. I really enjoyed her. I also love Paul Dano as the Riddler, such a dark, twisted version of him, and quite a nice payoff how it all kind of started in his arc of the whole film. Robert Pattinson, I really enjoyed. A lot of people, took a dump on this guy, literally by saying it was going to be terrible. I thought it was good. I enjoyed it. I liked everything about it. So for me, there was no kind of weird, funky voice.
You're a scat man.
He played it really good, and it was like a younger Batman. It reminded me of Daniel Craig and Casino Royale. He just didn't have all the tools yet. He wasn't, refined and such a, figure that he is, and his fighting skills and all of that stuff. This was just his kind of starting story. And for me, I really enjoyed that, and I liked everything about his performance. But it wasn't my favorite performance. The number one performance in this movie is Colin Farrell as the Penguin. This was such an amazing, role for Colin Farrell. Colin Farrell, we've seen play so many parts over the years, from comedic value to some serious things, to some biopics. He's done some big, big things. But for him to get all the prosthetics and all the makeup and everything done for this movie, and then to have that performance, it was top notch. This for me, if we're talking Oscar buzz, man, there should be a best supporting actor for this guy. He really is so good. Matt Reeves, I'm so excited now about DC, more than I am about Marvel. I'm so excited about DC to see where we're going to go with the character, with this movie, with the franchise. Are we going to get to see Barry Keoghan, the Irish actor's Joker? Are we going to get to see the next step in evolution of this kind of universe? Or are we going to branch out into the other kind of franchises and within the DC universe, from the Black Adams, the Man of Steels, the Aquamans, the Justice Leagues, the Flash? Are we going to get all of that together, or is this going to be a separate thing? Who knows? But it was definitely good enough. It stayed up there. It was my number one for so long, but it is my number two, The Batman.
One, go!
Now this, for me, was a complete turn up for the books. It really was. I saw this movie a few months back now, and I remember the moment I saw it, I had to get on the phone to my dad. I had to phone my friends and go, listen, if you have not watched this movie yet, get it watched now. And I know the first thing people say to me, they're like, oh, it's not my kind of thing. Listen, this will be your thing. Once you watch this movie, you're going to want more of this in all of your movies in the future. So I say, get it watched. You have to see it. And it is the amazing Indian action epic drama that is RRR. This was a Netflix movie, and of course, I watched this a few months back, and I cannot believe how good this movie is. The budget, I believe it was just over $50-60 million they put on the budget on this, and it was on an epic scale. It really was. It centers on these two characters, one who's the kind of rogue, who's for the people, the other who is the kind of the general in the Indian army, and the idea is they're against each other, but they don't know who they are, and then of course they become best friends, like brothers, and then of course they then come together to try and take down the big bad, which is Ray Stevenson, the British actor who, if you don't remember, was the Punisher in Punisher Warzone. Not a bad movie. So, but the great thing about this, it's typical, if you've never seen a Bollywood or an Indian movie before, I've seen one or two over the years, it's got everything, but this just has everything amped up to like a million. At one point they have this big wedding scene where they have a full-on dance, and the choreography and the singing and everything is so good. You can't help but smile while watching it. And then on top of that, when you want action, when you want to, never mind your Michael Bay explosions, this is basically saying, what if we could take the Fast and the Furious and take a Michael Bay classic, ram it all together, and then literally make it into this beautiful rainbow of action epic drama? This is what you're going to get. Some of the stunts, some of the effects, everything about this film was top notch. I implore you, if you have not seen RRR, it's a big watch. It's about 3 hours long, but I guarantee the moment you finish watching that 3 hours, you're going to need a drink, first of all, because you're going to be like, what just happened? But at the second, you're going to be like, I need to see more of this kind of movie. And that's what I really love about it, is definitely give me an appreciation for Indian cinema, and something I would have never, ever in a million years just picked up, the remote and thought, hey, let's watch an Indian classic. This is one of those movies for me. It's so big. Please, if you haven't, give this a watch. It's my number one movie of 2022. I can't believe. I think you'll enjoy it. So there we go, folks. Those are my top 3 of 2022. But what are your top 3? I want you to drop in the comments all the films you've seen, the ones that kind of left a lasting impression on you. What are your top 3 movies of 2022? I really want to hear your version as well. So, folks, thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you soon. Take care and all that good stuff. And I'll see ya. Bye!